so many things going on in the garden. We have lots of plants that we have to move around into different locations. We grow a lot of our own plants. We have, for example, all this jasmine that has to go down into the river. So we're doing all kinds of stuff like that, transplanting today. We're going to cut this guy. I don't know the English name for it, but it's Vispero. We're going to make a whole bunch of cuttings of this today. And Laura, can you throw me, mandas eso? So we're going to, basically all we do is we make a cutting like this, clean it up a bit. Then we cut half the leaves off. And what that does for us is that gives us a start. We'll put cinnamon here and we'll make like, I don't know, maybe 50, 60 of these. And when we do that, we have like a 90% success rate. And this is very similar to like a North American plum, Mispero. And what it does is it has a really big pit and yellow fruit. So you're basically getting a lot of pits, and propagating is a lot better when you're doing it this way. When you're starting off new seedlings like this, it works a lot better than from seed. Okay, so the jasmine, we're going to get this all go from the river, go into the river, and it's going to be planted along the shoreline. We're moving this guy, this red grass has to come out of here. We're going to dig it out and move it also down to the river. So we're kind of working in a way that we make all kinds of space. I'll show you where the jasmine is coming from. So we harvested all the planters now. So we'll basically pick a piece like this that has roots already growing in it. And we'll basically fill up a container with black dirt. And we'll basically keep it in location. So these containers are connected to the mother plant. And the mother plant gives it the energy to create new roots into the container itself. So we usually get about 100 jasmine plants every 3 months. And we basically sell them, give them away, or we transplant them into new areas of our garden. And you can see how gorgeous these plants are. They just do so well in our garden. This is suffocating this a bit, so I'm going to move it away a little bit. So when you're doing this type of maintenance work, it does get quite messy. So you have to really stay on top of it. I got a couple of dying jasmine here. So when you're doing these type of gardens, it's a very dynamic setup because you're constantly organizing new plants and doing it in such a way that you're constantly reinventing the garden. I want to talk about this plant right here. And this guy is a variegated lemon. And we usually get like, these get huge. And we usually get like 50 to 100 lemons on this tree compared to the Meyer lemon. The Meyer lemon doesn't do so well here. We get lots of lemons, yes, but they're not really as prolific as this variegated version. So if you haven't tried out this variegated lemon yet, make sure you buy one if you can get it in your location. Here, for example, this is a pear, and we grew this ourselves, grafted it ourselves. One thing we have to do is we have to be very cautious of the English ivy. And we're going to, for example, we have to clean up this wall. Like, look at this. Like, this is complete madness. We're going to move all these rocks out of here and harvest some of this English ivy and again put it down by the river. We have this intermixing of fruit trees, peppers, tomate de árbol. We have all these fruit trees mixed in with our other plants as well. I remember they sell these guys like in your grocery store as house plants. They grow so profusely here and so tall and so strong. It's incredible. This avocado tree is grafted, so it's going to have fruit soon. But I'll tell you, this stuff grows so incredibly fast here and so profusely. And it's growing almost too fast because the fruits are lacking a little bit. We want to figure out a way how we can get actually these trees to do. We've got to prune them in such a way that they're more focused on growing fruits. We've done these massive areas of beans just to keep the soil working and to keep everything alive and beautiful. We did that on purpose because we're going to just basically harvest the beans if they ripen, and we're going to plow all this into the ground again. It's funny, this area here, we had the beans growing so profusely, and I couldn't figure out why these beans weren't doing so well in terms of replenishing themselves. And I figured out rodents and birds are taking all these seeds that are lying on top. They're not having a chance to get into the ground. So I'm going to put somebody on the duty of pushing the beans all into the ground so they grow really well, so they have a better start. So we've got to do that today as well. And it's a lot of work keeping this garden working because of this system that we're using, this chaos gardening. We have way too many plants in small spaces that are doing incredibly well, and they're competing with each other. We're very suspicious. I've seen lizards crawl up here and eat our uvilias. They basically, we don't get any because they're quicker than we are. It's actually very funny, but we're okay with it. So here is the Meyer lemon that I'm talking about. And, you know, we get a couple of lemons every couple of weeks, but it's nothing like the variegated version. Are these guys ready? I'm going to let them sit a little bit longer. So this here, I'll show you something. This here is when we water with sprinklers, the water sits on top of these elephant ears and it burns the surface because it's like a magnifying glass. So we try to water low and not have these so high up. And that makes a big difference if we can water like this. Again, here, this is that watering issue. When you water something from the top, it gets burnt. So we have a lot of different fig trees in here. The fig trees are going to really provide a lot of fruit for us in the future. We mix it in with, we like to get them out. And all the dead growth needs to be cut off. This here is Narahilia. This plant died completely, but they die and then they come right back again. And it's a very peculiar plant. We have some that have like thorns on them and others that don't. So it's very, very unusual how that goes down like that. So this is our river. It's quite strong today. What I always do is these really tough grasses, I like to harvest them and I like to put them down in the river below just so we can protect our river. That's very important to us. And I'm also gathering as many of these seed pods as I can get to also put down in the river. Our focus has really been working down on that shoreline to make sure that it doesn't erode on us. So we'll basically take these seeds and bust them open and spread them all the way around down below. It makes a big difference for us. So I really pay attention to this comfrey. It's great for our composting efforts, but I also don't want it to take over the yard. So basically I cut this down every 3 months, 2 months, just so that it doesn't go to flower. I know the power of comfrey when it goes to seed and goes everywhere in your garden. I definitely don't want that. So by cutting it down, I just don't give it even the opportunity or the thought of going to seed. And we have enough of it. It grows quite well here. So I've got all these plants. We have so many plants that are showing up that we don't really know where they're coming from. A lot of it has to do with birds. There's a beautiful set of plants underneath here, but the avocado tree is taking over this space. So right now we have this weather. It's like somebody is squirting a spray bottle on top of us and watering the entire garden constantly. So you can understand we get so much green matter out of this garden that we can keep it to keep our garden green by constantly trench composting it and keeping it working for us. Okay, Rodrigo, ¿puedes apagar?